my goal is to try to get people who can't understand where we're coming from, where you see what's going on in the world right now.
I panicked a little bit.
Hey man, it brings back the old days.
I was always ready to go. Anytime you show up to the party with this, it better be drinkable.
Oh, there's that cinnamon.
Yo, what up?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Men and Means podcast.
As always, man, we're coming at you in the lab, coming straight out of the pocket. We're back at it.
Happy Monday, right? This drops every Monday, so
happy Monday, man. We're live.
I know a lot of people listen to it on Monday morning.
No, we're shooting this live. We get up really early, and that's when we knock it out.
Yeah, we got a guest today, guys. We got John in the house today.
We got J-Flo.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
J-Flo, who are you?
I'm me.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Tu ex favorito. Favorito.
Tu entiendo.
2X. Fuck, I don't know what this shit says, dude.
Dude.
Hey, come on, dude. If Jose was here, he'd laugh at me, but that was last week. Anyway, man, so here we are. We're coming at you again. Just to let you guys know, man, as always, we're going to jump this thing off of whiskey time. James, do you mind kicking that bottle over here, man? Let me tell the people what we got. So this week we're coming at you with Virginia Distillery Company, Virginia Highland Whiskey. Peep the YouTube, man. You want to see the bottle? There it is. This shit's whiskey from Scotland, but it's married with Virginia whiskey. This is the best of both worlds.
It's a little hybrid.
Hey, get you a girl that can do both. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got here. This shit's distilled from malt mash. And you know that's quality shit. So, as always, man, let's jump into the presentation. If you guys can hear the fucking horns behind us, that's because we're in the slums.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that Highland whiskey mixed with the Virginia style?
I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, so here I am. I'm walking to my favorite place, Liquorama, Disneyland for adults.
Hey.
For real adults. Some adults like Disneyland. I find that weird. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and I see this. My eyes gaze upon this majestic beauty of a bottle here, and I find myself just like wondering, man, I want to sample that. I want to see what that's all about. I've never had a Scotland whiskey mixed with anything, so I was in. And as always, the sherry cask finish. I've liked those in the past, so the bottle basically drew me in, and that's where I went.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why I am a little more accepting of the little mix-up. It's because they use the sherry cask, and typically that's the smooth finish that we like. So it's like it seems like they did a good job with the mix-up.
Yeah, you know, John, what do you think about that bottle?
Presentation's beautiful. I love it. I like that little embossed sticker on there.
Ooh.
It has that little extra, you know.
Is that embossed? Because I think embossed means it's like in the bottle.
No.
I'm pretty confident it does.
Somebody
Google that.
The little emblem.
The emblem.
Somebody Google what embossed means and then leave a
this
comment.
Shit pops off.
Yeah, I know. It falls. Like, oh shit, no.
No, but it's a nice looking
Yeah,
bottle.
it's a nice looking bottle. Yeah,
Yeah,
presentation's wonderful.
I like it, man. I was fucking with you, John. My bad. Anyway, man. So the bottle kind of looks like a wine bottle, to some regard. You know what I mean? It feels like a wine bottle when you hold it. To me,
it definitely. It's a tall bottle.
it's tall.
It's very tall.
And wine-ish.
Yeah, even the cork. When I tried to put the cork back in, it was a little tight.
I'm not mad at that, dude. I'm not mad at that.
I'm mad at that at all.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's mad about that.
Yeah, I don't want it falling down the hallway.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying, dog? So I
Yeah.
will accept that.
Yes.
And shout out to all of you that know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the presentation's nice. Again, I like the color scheme.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
know,
little Men and Means style.
the color of the label kind of complements the color of the whiskey.
Yeah, it's very elegant.
Yeah.
No.
And you know what, too? To be fair, when I saw this in the store, the color of the whiskey also drew me in because I thought, man, that's that nice, smooth kind of look that you get and when you get a quality whiskey. A little background on this, man. Price point's about $60. Not crazy, but not cheap. You know what I mean? Middle of the road.
Pretty middle of the road, yeah.
Yeah. So presentation, man. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
I give it a 7.
Sam.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I'm gonna give it Sam.
You gotta say
Yeah,
something,
I'm gonna
dog.
give it Sam. I'm gonna give it Sam.
Like,
I'm gonna give it
come on,
Sam.
big dog.
I'm gonna give it Sam.
So we got a 7.775.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a 7.25.
Let's move further than that. Let's get into the nosability, the breathability of this thing.
Okay, yeah.
We're rating too much now.
Right.
Too many ratings flying around.
Yeah, that is right. I just thought I could do the math. I was probably wrong, but
Yeah.
you know, I shot my shot.
Hello.
And hello.
Mm.
Well, the word's hello, dude.
Hello.
All right. How are you?
And how are you guys doing? How the fuck are you guys doing?
How the hell are you?
How the hell are you?
All right. You know what? Oh, go ahead.
That's a nice smell.
Apologize.
That's a nice smell. It's very inviting.
It tingles the nostrils.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't even like just based off the smell. I wouldn't know that it was Virginia style whiskey. Anything associated. It smells like a good Scotch.
It does.
It's a little scotchy. I
Yeah.
agree.
Scotch tapish, if you would.
Scotch tape. Okay.
You like that? You
I
like
like it.
you like the nose on that?
Oh, I love it.
All
I
right,
really do.
all right.
I really do love it.
And
I'm excited to get a little.
my personal favorite part of the episode is
the old palate.
can we
No palate.
Yeah.
can we throw a little on the old
Can we
palate?
throw a little
Would
old
you?
palate
All
back
right.
there? Yeah.
And my boys, as always, cheers, man. It means,
Cheers.
man. And here we go. All right, they're going in. I'm gonna try it myself. Oh, that's that sherry oak, man. Oh, that's sherry all the way.
Yeah.
We didn't even get into the fruit, but the palate's hitting. It's good.
Yeah, the palate hit you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's smooth.
It's damn good, dude.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
damn good.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
This is a successful collaboration.
That was a
I have
good
to say.
They marry well.
Yeah.
No. Mm.
I'd imagine that the people from Virginia were the ones that reached out. They
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
some of that
Hey, guys,
Highlands.
Can we rise your coattail a little bit?
Yeah, because
You know?
literally it's Virginia Distillery. Obviously,
Oh.
right? They reached out.
That's an interesting concept. You know what I mean? How did that pan out?
Yeah, but it's actually a very smooth, very drinkable
Like,
whiskey.
McAllen was like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna hit you with a little bit, but you know what I mean. It's gonna cost
It's
you.
gonna cost you.
You know what I
We're
mean?
gonna run you a little bit.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna
know what I
run you a
mean?
little
Yeah, I can see that being the case. All right, so overall, man, I'd like to go last this time. I'm gonna let you boys go in and decide.
I'll go first. For me, this.
Here we are again. God fucking damn it.
Oh, he's got a light cigar again.
bit. What did I tell you?
For me, the presentation is obviously it's pretty good. I mean, it looks elegant. Like you said, a little emblem on there. It's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
like the color scheme.
Color seems great.
The look of the actual whiskey is actually very inviting. It makes you want to drink it, similar to the smell. And then after tasting it, I'm going to go ahead and give this a solid 7. For me, it's not middle of the road. That shit is above the middle of the road. It's a smooth drink. I would drink this any day of the week. So 7 for me.
Okay. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say, man, overall presentation, I did enjoy that. It smells good, tastes good, plays well. You know what I mean?
Dances for you.
Yeah, it puts on a real show. You know, it's a little bit of hits on every category. So with that said, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm going 8. You know what? I'm gonna say this too, and I feel like this is something I could take somewhere, and people are like, oh shit, what the fuck is that? Who brought that? And it probably get passed over
Yeah.
until you try it.
Multiple times. it'll
Until
get
you
passed
try
over.
it, and then you're like, oh shit, oh wow, this man was onto something.
Right.
There you go, John.
I
What do you
agree.
think?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I'm gonna give it 7.5.
Okay, that's an average score of 7.5.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm gonna give it 7.5.
Yeah,
That's right.
I really liked the essence of it.
Oh,
That was
Oh,
the essence of it. Really,
Hey, you
he's
know
been
what?
listening to the podcast.
This man is a fan. All right,
it got me. The essence of it got me.
And you know what? That's what we are.
Presentation.
Literally, we're here to capture the essence and then deliver that back to you, the viewer, the listener, the fan.
We enjoy.
Yeah, for
Let me
sure.
tell
Go
you.
pick this up.
This
Yeah.
is a
Definitely.
good one.
Definitely.
This is a recommend. You go pick it up. It's
Yeah.
it's not too
Yeah.
crazy of a price point. It's a very good whiskey for sure. Don't be fooled by the Virginia Highland fucking collab. That shit was good.
Yeah.
That shit's really good.
Yeah. All right, man. With that said, that's gonna conclude our whiskey time, and I'd like to maybe introduce something. I don't know if this will catch on or not, but we are smoking cigars this evening. With that, I got a Monte Cristo Espada. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's the world I'm living in right now.
Yeah. So our last guest was he was the cigar
Aficionado.
right?
Well, he's trying to get in the club.
Yeah,
He's on his way.
he's doing his work.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have the same cutter, but
Oh no, yeah. I got the basic.
we got the
base
starter
cutter.
kit. But John here, he
Yeah.
he fucks with cigars, so
Yeah.
it's starting to become a thing now, and it's a vibe.
It's
This
a
shit
vibe.
says-
It's a vibe.
This
It's
shit
a
says-
vibe.
Yeah.
It really does bring a little value for us personally experiencing this. So,
Right.
Right.
I mean, anytime you guys want to pour up a glass of whiskey,
Mhm.
especially the good shit, the shit that we recommend,
Right.
grab a
right.
cigar and just fucking let the world fucking float away.
Just have at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this is what I do on the frequent.
What,
You know,
and what kind of cigar you got, sir?
Over here, I got me the
If you guys are watching this on
The
YouTube,
Romeo
That's
and
not a
Juliet.
vibrator.
it's not a
guys.
vibrator.
It's not a
He
vibrator,
did not
guys.
bring a
It is not.
vibrator.
It's a case.
This is
Although
the case.
we did
This is
request
where
that he
it comes
would,
in.
and you know,
But we got the old Rothschild, Romeo and Juliet. Check it out.
Romeo y Julieta.
Y Julieta.
Shout out to moms,
Moms.
Julieta.
Julieta.
Anyway, man. All right, so that's a little bit about what we're doing and how we kicking it off tonight. So one of the things I kind of wanted to get into with you guys a little bit, kind of a current event, if you would. The NBA, MLB, they boycotted a game.
They did.
You know what I mean? And it's playoffs for the NBA. However, man, the question I want to ask you guys is, what impact do you think that really has to the movement that they're really trying to get into? Does it have any impact? Is it more of just a statement? Is it them kind of standing together? What are your takes, and how do you look at it? And then I'll kind of chime in a little bit myself. Don't all speak at once. You know what I mean?
Well,
Go ahead,
I'll
James.
go.
Go ahead, James.
You know, honestly, I think that when all sporting events started back up, I wasn't somebody who was looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of things about, like, specifically the NBA season that's not really like a championship run. It's really just getting back out there. And I know a lot of the players wanted to go back and really be on TV again and highlight, maybe get some of that media time to highlight some of the issues that are going on. But honestly, I don't think it has much of an impact. I know that they wanted to postpone games and boycott games, but they're going to start the games right back up. But I do like the fact that, like, you see people in the WNBA and they're really going hard with their displays of bringing awareness to these things. And I think that they're doing a damn good job. I think, and for the NBA players, I think there's a lot of frustration that you're seeing. Like, you're seeing grown men with real issues going on in the world. And I kind of feel like them being there is kind of tying their hands a little bit. It's kind of keeping really high profile individuals within the culture of everything that's going on, kind of just isolated to the bubble. The bubble is a good, safe place, but right now I think it's actually hindering their ability to speak out, represent, go and do what they got to do outside of the bubble. So I think it's a little bit of a hindrance to them. And what I do like, though, is I like that you see soccer leagues not playing. I like the fact that you're seeing baseball games not being played. But here's the thing with a lot of the sports things. They all take a stand one day and they don't play at all. And then, like, they take that one stand and then they're back to playing. And I think that it's still that distraction is still perpetuating, and it's really becoming, it's taking them out of the global issue that we're facing now.
Is it enough? Was one game enough?
No, I think that's
No. Sorry if I'm trying to.
No, go ahead.
But I think the whole 1 day thing, you know, laying low for 1 day, just kind of makes that to let the world know that they're aware of what's going on and they're here to back. You know,
Back what, John? Just want to say it, man. Don't be shy.
the culture. They're here to back the culture. They're here to back
Back
the people.
Here to back the squad.
Yeah, they're here to back the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's a good thing, but I agree with James as far as, okay, you're taking 1 day off, but is that enough?
Well, I mean, I think you take one game off, right? Especially if you're gonna just replay what would have happened anyway. What the fuck does this matter,
You're postponing it.
right? I mean, like, maybe like TV networks got to like reschedule some shit, but they will. You know, they'll shuffle some shit around. I mean, if you look at like what normally would be on during a game anyway, it's the shit no one's really fucking with. Nobody really cares. You know what, though? To me, two things I thought were impactful. Doc Rivers' speech that he gave and saying, you know, man, like, as far as kind of asking, like, hey, you know, man, like, black people here have loved America this entire time. But why doesn't America love us? You know what I mean? Like, and how long do you love something that doesn't love you? I was like, fuck, man, what a great way to put it. What a well thought out way to word that, you know? So shout out to Doc Rivers on that. And then, you know, I mean, and James kind of touched on the WNBA. And I thought too, man, like I seen today, I think they came out, they had like the bullet holes in the back of their shirts and shit. Like, and I'm like, yeah, man, you shooting dudes in the back, unarmed dudes in the back. You know, I mean, this is the same shit, man. You know, I was talking to a dude at my job the other day, and he was asking me some questions, man. And I just kind of was like, number one, I don't think, so just answer the question. I don't think any of this shit really means anything in the long run. I think it's nice to say you did that. You could say, yeah, you know what, man, we organized that. We didn't play a game.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. They said the Clippers and the Lakers are the only two teams that threw their hat in there and said, we don't want the season to continue, right? And I know there's a lot of stuff like, yeah, they're going to go back and play. So I don't fault any of the players that are going back and doing their thing. But I know that there was something said specifically from like LeBron James. And when he says shit, things shift. And what he specifically wanted from the owners is that he wanted the owners to get more involved with the actual things that need to change and get more involved in some of that stuff. And if he left that room and he decided to play still, because like if LeBron James decided to end the season will probably be over. So if there are things going on behind the scenes with the owners agreeing to be more active and be more generous with their money even into how some of these things can happen, I think that we don't know that firsthand. So for them to go back, I don't judge them for going back and playing and continuing the season. I just think that it's hard to make a stand when you're part of this huge machine that has to generate money and
that's the thing though, right? So you want to impact the money. I think if you want to make an impact, you got to impact the money, right? So if you look at owners are billionaires, dude. So the players are millionaires, and that's great, man. I'd love to be a millionaire. You know, I ain't talking shit here, but the owners are billionaires. These are the people that make the world go round. You know what I mean? These are the guys behind the scenes that actually that pull the strings to control the puppets. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I understand the thought process in saying like, hey, nah, you know, like I want you to be more a part of this, because that's really how you get some shit done. So the players can do whatever they want, but until you impact the owner money, and so one game don't impact that, especially if you're just gonna make that game up. What did you really lose? You didn't lose shit. You know what I mean? Ain't fans there anyway. Ain't like fans is in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, I imagine there was some money impacted to some degree, but not enough to make a fucking where shit. They're like, hey, and here's the reality of it, man. The NBA, come on, look, watch a fucking game. You know what I mean? It's majority black dudes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Yeah, they're impacted. How many of the owners are black dudes?
Yeah, and like I said, I pointed out the fact that there's other sports demonstrating certain things. They're not playing. They're doing all kinds of different things. I think that the NBA has usually been pretty good about addressing these things. They've been probably the best league at addressing them.
Because you kind of got to if you're the NBA.
And you have to, right? They're not dummies. But I will say that players are allowed to speak out and do their thing, even like post-game, everything like that. So it's nice to see other sports doing it, but that's the only thing I want to point out. It's nice to see other sports actually taking a stance because, like, just to be honest, I don't think baseball is one of those sports that's really, I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen them take a stance like that. And
well, I believe it's because the NBA has that platform. They have that platform. Why? Because obviously that's predominantly African American, which is what's going on, and you know that's who it's affecting right now. And like you said, the baseball MLB, you kind of got.
Well, it's a better mixture.
It's a better mixture, right? Yeah. Right. And like you said earlier, LeBron James, he's the guy that has that.
He's the king.
He's the king. Yeah. He's King James. He's the one that has that ability to be the one to influence.
Like, can I be honest with you guys? If he was on the Lakers, I'd be like, man, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? He was a Laker though, baby. All right, he's on the squad.
He's on the squad.
Lakers all day. But Yeah, I mean, you know, man, I don't know. You know, I imagine, man, there's a world above us that we don't understand that kind of dictates a lot of this. And James, what an ass you got building up there, man. My man. All right.
Well, last time I fucked this up quick.
Yeah, dude.
I fucked it up quick, and I've been told don't ash that shit. Let it just
Let it
burn.
ride.
I asked mine. I would say it's too big.
But to be honest, I don't want. I don't want to take credit
You
for
gotta let it
this.
hang.
Yeah.
I don't want to take credit for this. I think that this shit is maybe just a little dried out and it's burning a little
Hey,
faster.
dude, this is brand new, dude. Don't you disrespect this goddamn game. All right.
Well, I don't know.
I come over here bringing you top grade shit.
I'm not blaming you.
They're not top grade, guys. I am not that wealthy.
Every move I make, I'm like scared it's gonna fucking drop.
It
off.
is.
I know.
It
There
is.
goes
I know.
mine.
And there goes John.
And John
There goes
fumbled.
mine.
All right. But anyway, man, so kind of moving on, man. That's our take on that. You know, what we think. I guess to wrap it up, I don't think it was impactful as it meant to be. I do think it shows people kind of trying to be united in some regard, trying to take a stand together. And I respect it. I respect the hell out of it. However, man, you know, in the big scheme of things, in the long run, is this some shit that's going to change the world? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think, go ahead.
And before we shift gears, I would just say that if you're a fan of sports, if you're a fan of the NBA, the MLB, any sport in general, I just urge you to listen right now to individual players. Don't look at what the league is doing. Don't look how the league is responding. Don't look how just LeBron James is responding. Listen to every player. Listen to the Jalen Brown, the fucking listen to.
Look at Kenny Smith.
Yeah, look at Kenny Smith and
Kenny Smith.
walking on TV.
Yep.
Listen to the individuals that are associated with those leagues. Listen in, like tune into those people. It's not about just how the sport's responding. It's about how the individuals are responding, what they're saying, what they're telling you. So if you give a fuck about the sport at all, if you give a fuck about them as people, just listen to the individuals. And that's the great thing about the NBA. They are individuals, so listen, hear them out. That's all I say. Hear them out. Dive a little deeper than what they're covering on SportsCenter.
Hey, I want to say too, man. I liked when Kenny walked off, and you got EJ sitting there. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, I'm out of here. I don't think I should be here." And EJ's just like, and I respect that.
I respect that.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's, you know what I mean? That's love, man. That's been a world where you kind of are engulfed in the culture. You know what I mean? Like you look who he sits with every day.
And I like the fact that he did it on TV.
Yeah, hey,
he
fuck
waited
this.
till he suited up
So
and
he got
mic'd
there
up,
and said, "Hey, I'm out, dude."
took the mic off on the
Yeah.
shit and walked off. That
Yeah.
don't I like that he didn't
Yeah.
cancel before
Nah,
he come. He
I like
did
that.
it on it
I
and
like
said,
the way
I
he did it.
and gave his reasons why.
Say
And
what he
I-
had to say, and
I damn near
it.
let a boycott
Yeah.
in my place of employment. But I thought, man, they're gonna be like, hey, nah, brother, you get the fuck out, then, all right? So I did not.
You already know I'm in.
I feel like I'd be the guy to get it done too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what, guys, we're getting the fuck out of here. Nah, man. But a little different environments there. So, man, switching gears a little bit, man. I had a friend of mine come to me, and they kind of was like, "Yo, hey, come talk to me for a minute. Hey, what's your opinion on a woman's role in a relationship, right?" And as soon as I hear that, my mind was like, oh, that's a loaded question. You know what I mean? I feel like you set me up right now. But it made me start to think a little bit, and I thought, like, it's a good topic to bring up. It's something to discuss. So I'll go ahead and give my opinion a little bit, and I'd like to see what you guys think. And let's round table this a bit.
Can you be a little more specific though?
In what regard? Oh no, I'm gonna. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because that's pretty general.
yeah.
So okay, so it was more like
it's a real broad
so
spectrum
when I
there.
say role, I meant like, kind of like, hey, what is a woman's responsibilities if she's with a man? That's the way the question was posed to me, right? So, what do they need to do? How should it be, right? And I'm like, well, hold up, man. So when this question comes, and I'm kind of like, first off, I'd like to say I don't think there's any clear defined lines for anyone. I think it's very unique to each situation. I think it depends on who you are, how your relationship goes, and it is what it is. And this is my answer to that individual. And I was like, I think, me personally, I like a 50-50. I like, hey, man, you cook, I clean. Let's switch it up tomorrow, shit like that. I like a chick that's fairly independent, and I just say fairly, but I mean, fucking, like, I don't want you to need me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to feel like like you're my child. I don't want that personally. I like, hey, you got your own shit going on, you do your own thing, and let's manage this shit. You know what I mean? But I do understand, man, there's a difference between each situation. And I thought, fuck, well, if a dude's like, hey, I don't want you to work, well, at the very least, then you better be providing, dude. You better be kicking down 100% of everything, and it better be taken care of. And if they do work, I think then, hey man, you got to back the fuck up a little bit. You know what I mean? Let them do their thing. If they want to, whatever it may be, you know, they're like, hey, I'm grabbing some shit to eat. Fucking let it ride, dude. The fuck you tripping on? But then too, I also know people who are like, you know, like, oh, you know, I just buy fast food every day, and I'm kind of like, it's not. I'm never against a chick, or I'm like, both of you guys need to step your game up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, elevate your shit. One of you motherfuckers learn how to cook something. Take a class. So go on YouTube. It's 2020, man. You know what I mean? I think, oh, James, and there goes the ash.
There it goes. Ken's is out, but
no, it's lit, baby. I'm doing
it for the third time.
But you know, but no, man. I think in a relationship, it has to be a very together kind of decision, a very two-way street. You know what I mean? Like, hey. You got to see eye to eye. It is your world. It's you guys' world. You got to make it work for you and adapt it to what works for you. And like I said, man, I've been in a few relationships. Okay, you know what I mean? Okay. In my time, about 50 times. You know? And each one was different. You know what I mean? But I think it was always a compromise. Like, hey, you know what? You gonna take care of that, and I got this shit, and I got it. And even with that said, man, I'm never like the easiest motherfucker to deal with by any means. But at the same time, I do understand. I personally, I don't have a problem. I'll wash the dishes. I'll cook. I'll do the whole. If I'm trying to be that guy, I'll take care of all of this shit tonight. Hey, love, you going to sit down, turn the TV on, watch you a little motherfucking you know, whatever you watch. I don't know. Dancing with the Stars or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Is that even on still? I don't think so.
ABDC? I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know.
Right? But the point I'm making is just simply, man, you know, and I think some days you kind of spoil each other. You know, it's nice when they do that back to you. But for me, I don't need a clear line of this is you and this is me. You know what I mean? I know dudes like, well, I'm not going to clean the bathroom. I just don't do that shit. I'm like, man, grow the fuck up. Me personally, that's my opinion. And nothing against the guy that is like that. Just for me, I'm like, man, fuck it. Like, hey, it needs to get done. Now, if I'm always doing everything, then I'm kind of like, hey, what the fuck you here for? You know what I mean? Like, I could do this shit. You know what I mean?
It's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me.
I'm just doing it all, huh?
I'm here by myself.
I went to work all goddamn day. I come home, I cooked, I cleaned. What the fuck you do? You know what I mean? So with that said, though, same with the guy. You gotta bring, each person gotta bring something to the table. You gotta be able to contribute and make, you know what I mean? You gotta contribute to the situation. Right. That's kind of where I stand at it. You know what I mean? I'd like to hear what you boys think. I keep calling you boys, but to men.
Men are means.
How do
men are means. Go ahead, John.
Me personally, I'm kind of on the same lane with you. I feel like there's obviously a relationship's got to be very mutual. But I don't feel that
like Washington.
Mutual. Washington Mutual.
WAMU. They're no longer in existence.
No longer exist. I believe it's what, Chase now?
It's Chase Bank.
Chase
yes.
now, right?
Yeah. Mutual shit does not last.
Yeah, the way I see it is that I don't feel like, okay, I'm cooking, so you got to clean, or I'm doing this, so you got to do that. No, I mean, the way I see it is like, I mean, every day is based off how the day goes. That's the way I see it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm having a good day today, so I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna cook you dinner, I'm gonna have dinner ready for you by the time you get home. Yeah, you chill out, you sit there on the couch, you know, you relax, throw your feet up. You had a long day at work as well, so I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take care of the kids, whatever the deal might be, and you know, and just kind of, it's a day by day thing, you know. I don't feel like the man or the woman has a specific role in the relationship, but I feel like when it comes to like the emotional side of it, I just feel like your partner should know you to where it's like, all right, I gotta be this aspect in that person's emotional flaws.
I disagree with you, but I'll let you go.
if you feel a certain way about a person,
Sadate.
sarate, tippy toe.
James is like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What language are they speaking right now? Wadita.
Why did it sound so familiar?
Turn them shits up.
Turn them up.
Oh,
But
shout out Chris Rock.
shout out Chris Rock on that one. Yeah. No, but I just feel like, I feel, the man or the woman should know their roles with each other and how they got to be with their partner. And, that's pretty much it. I don't feel like you got to make it difficult. You know what I mean? It should be simple.
Well,
It should be simple.
Let me interject something, and then I'll let James go, man. And I hear what you're saying about like an emotional aspect. My personal belief on the emotional aspect is you control your own emotions, and that's it.
Oh, no doubt.
So,
but there's gotta be somebody to support you.
Well, it's nice to have somebody there like that kind of gets your back, but you control your own shit, and then that's something I had to learn. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, oh, I'm having a fucked up day. You should, nah, man. You got to get yourself right. And no one else can change that. No one else can make you happy. Okay, so maybe I misinterpreted what you were getting at there.
Agreed.
But that's my personal philosophy on that. You know what I mean? And future baby girl out there, don't worry, love, I got this. You know what I mean?
Great White Buffalo.
You shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, so I don't know. In regards to the emotional thing, I kind of, maybe I misinterpreted it too, but
it went out.
Yeah, his cigar went out. But I do feel like your partner is responsible for curving that shit.
That's
okay. So like let's just say that like I'll be dead honest right now. My schedule got thrown off a little bit, and I'm somebody who likes a schedule.
Are we talking about schedules thrown off? Wow, well,
yeah.
It's my life every day.
Yeah, like my schedule got thrown off, but in a way where like I wasn't growing fast enough. Like I wasn't being, I couldn't do certain things fast enough, and it frustrated me. And I told my girl straight out, I said, look, I'm kind of struggling. I just told her like, look, it has nothing to do with us, has nothing to do with anything, but right now in my head, I'm not 100%, and I don't know how to pinpoint it. And she's made every adjustment to try to figure that shit out. So the emotional aspect of me, she took it upon herself to not have all the information, but to check in on me and try to do things a little different, to be a little more aware. So I think the emotional aspect, I don't think that it's up to you just to do that. I think that we feel that way, and that's what doesn't allow us to communicate that. But I think in the grand aspect of all things, I think that your partner, whether it's your girl or whatever, they are responsible for taking the information in and then acting upon that.
Well, and I look, I agree with what you're just saying to an extent, right? Like Thank you,
James. Thank you very much.
I think yes, you make a point.
He said it the way I wanted to say it.
It's nice to have somebody come in and kind of like, look, man. It's like being you got a kid or something, right? Like you kind of want to fucking coddle them a little bit and bring them into the wing, right? It's nice to have somebody there that you can kind of lean on a bit. Right? That's a great vibe. However, the overall, so James, even with the example you just gave, and if you feel like you weren't getting somewhere, she can't get you there. That's what I mean. The personal response, she might be able to like, hey, here's some ideas, here's some things. She could support you in that. And that's essential. She should support you in that. If you have someone that's not supporting you in it, the fuck are they doing? Right? However, though, at the end of the day, the end action falls on that falls on you as the person.
Well, you think that, but I'll tell you the thing about good help. The thing about real good help.
It's got real racial, good help.
No.
Son of a bitch.
The thing about real good help, like when it comes to mental health and stability, the real good help, you don't realize you're being helped, but you're climbing out of it. Like so, like you don't. So yeah, like you don't understand. Like they're doing it, but you look back and you're like, I couldn't have done it without them. That's why you always hear that. I couldn't have done it without them.
I don't disagree, but you did it. That's the thing I'm saying, though, right? But you did it.
But you didn't.
But you didn't.
You couldn't do it without support.
You couldn't have done it without support.
Maybe I've just never fucking had this. My mom never.
Your mom. I know your mom never did, but
no, don't say she never did. I'm down for the shit, but no, my mom was always there. So no, that's all love. Yeah. And I know you're fucking around, so I'm not upset. I don't want to sound like I am, but you know what I'm saying. I can't have that out there either.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
But the like I said, the good thing about good help is you don't know you're getting it.
Exactly.
They're just doing it, and then you think you're doing it by yourself, but you're not. And that's the beauty about reaching out. That's why they always say reach out, reach out, reach
Well,
out.
there's support.
But in a
Support. But go ahead.
It shouldn't have to be reaching out, like you said, reaching out. It's not reaching out. It's because that's what they know.
Well, they want,
you
and
need,
they want,
and that's what they know.
No, I get you guys, and you know what, man? Like, I get you guys, and you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm just fucking here all alone. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I got to do it by myself. It's me. No, John is my support system.
I love you.
Yeah.
I got you, my boy.
Nah, man, all my boys are.
Yeah.
And I mean, even that, man, I got some chicks that I think are have impacted me in a very impactful manner. You know what I mean? That I've known throughout my life. Oh shit, dude, that's why it keeps going out. I'm ashing on the mic.
You gotta set it down when you're talking.
Yeah.
Nah, dude,
Because you swing that bitch around.
you know me,
over
I'm a
here.
hand
Look
talker,
over
dude.
here.
You gotta
Go
swing.
like
You gotta
this.
set it down.
Yeah.
Let it burn.
Let it burn, baby.
Let it burn.
Let it burn.
It burn.
Yeah. But in regards, like, let me just give my piece real quick on
Yeah, go for
where
it, man.
women fit in and what's their role. Like, I'll just say this: I want to give a shout out to every strong woman that I've ever encountered. Like, it could be my friend's wife, it could be a girlfriend, it could be one of their friends, it could be my girl. I think what I've done my whole life is I've seen examples of a great partner. And do I think that everybody is a great partner all the time? Not at all. But I do think that there are qualities in people. So when I look at women, I think like, damn, you don't know what you got sometimes. Like, you see a guy and I'm like, that what she does there, you got to appreciate that. So like, it's more about realizing that. And I will say that, like, I was raised by my mom. And so for my mom, there was no gender role. There was no like, oh, this is the woman's role in the household. So I didn't have that growing up. My mom was a single mom. So she did everything. She took care of everything. So in my mind, when you say there's no role in the household, I agree with you guys wholeheartedly, because it's not about, like, you made a good point. It's day to day.
Right.
It's day to day. What needs to happen today?
Right.
Some days
Yeah.
you're lazy and you're a piece of shit, but they pick it up.
Right.
Some days you're up and they're down and you pick it up.
Right.
And that's the good thing. Like, and when Ken initially brought this up earlier before we started the podcast, we were like, damn, it sucks to not have a woman here. But then I thought, like, nah, I was raised by my mom. Like, I know I can respect a woman and talk about a role.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what it really fits into. We can respectfully discuss this. And you made a great point when you said that. And that to me is just like, I think a woman's role is to be confident. I think a woman's role is to step in when she needs to. I think a woman's role, like, I want to get away from the whole cooking and cleaning and daily chores of it all. I that's why I'm more focused on like the emotional support. Like, I want to give a huge shout out to my girl for stepping in and doing that. I want to give a huge shout out to my mom for that.
Yeah.
It comes across the board, and like I said, it's not limited to people just in my little circle. I look at people's wives and I'm like, that's a quality.
Don't look at me and say wife. I don't have one.
No, I was more like trying to get a good angle for the camera.
Yeah, I understood.
You know what I mean? Like a good emphasis on the camera.
I was offended.
Yeah, but
Just
but
fucking
like
around.
for real, like I just in my head I know that it's much bigger than that. There is no it's dynamic. Their role's dynamic.
Well, I'd like to throw this out there, man. You know, like for me, so James raised by his mom. You know what I mean? And much love to that, man. And James's mom is awesome. However, man, my mom passed away as a kid, so I was raised by my dad just by himself for a good period of time there. However, though, understanding who my father is and the way he was raised, it was always you respect the fuck out of a woman. And, you know, still taught me the same values as I have a little sister and everything, taught me the same values as I imagine your mother would have taught you. And so even being raised by a man, and I would say there's little bits of different pieces that you'd get from being raised by a man, because a man's also going to understand what a man is. You know what I mean? In that regard.
A man's a man.
And a man, you know, a man can be a motherfucker if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. And so with that said, you know, I understood that, and then I understood there's, to me, man, there's different type of people you're going to interact with, and some people, I think, like, especially if we're just talking about women, I think there's a certain woman that you're like, hey, nah, man, like you get it all, and then there's another woman that you're kind of like, oh, in the words of Dave and the Chappelle Show, she's a bird. You know what I mean? She belonged to the streets. You know what I'm saying? And then, and I'll probably get a little hate for that, but fuck it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is what
I
it
don't
is.
give a shit.
It is what it is.
That's the reality of the world we live in.
That's true.
That's the reality.
And it's true. You made a good point earlier this week when you said that not every woman is strong.
Oh, yeah.
So let me say this real quick before you say your piece.
Go ahead.
Not every woman is strong, and I think that I know that that's like a popular slogan, and everybody wants
the memes.
Everybody wants to be part of that bandwagon, but I will say that there are women who really like embody that.
Yeah, no.
And to say every girl is that
because you are a woman, you are these things, bullshit.
Right.
And that's the same to say because you're a black man, you are these things, bullshit. Because you are whatever the fuck you are, bullshit. You want to be that man, you got to earn that shit. You know what I mean? You got to really put the fucking work in. And if you're not, don't think because you were born something that you are that comes with anything else. It does not. You want to be that, then get the fuck up and earn it.
Because you can be.
You can.
Because you can
You
be.
absolutely can be.
Everybody has the power to be.
You can.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you do with it?
Exactly.
You sit on your ass and don't do shit. Let's like I said, if you the chick that's like, hey, I know you worked all day and I've been here all day and I didn't do shit. I didn't clean. You don't do shit. Then fuck off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. In my opinion, that's me. And maybe other dudes disagree. Good for you then. That's what I said. It's very unique and individual to your situation. Right. However, though, the people that I know, and this is one example. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't know if that's cool, but my boy works every day. His wife's at home. They got 3 kids. She takes care of the kids. She does all of that, handles that, cooks some fucking breakfast. He shoot me breakfast sandwiches, and I'm like, hey. So he's gonna know who this is now.
yeah. Especially back to back.
Yeah. You gotta blow it up, son. All right. But you know what I mean? They've developed how they make it work. You know what I mean? She takes care of that shit. He knows that's on lock. He got this shit. That's on lock. That's their situation. That don't work for everybody. Some shits are different. I know a chick. This talk about my homegirl Kimber that was on here. She's a very independent. I can't imagine her being the kind of chick like, nah, I ain't gonna go to work. Nah, man. She's a fucking hustler. She likes to do that shit. This is a chick that we'd fucking get trashed, okay, all night. She'd be the first person to clean the whole fucking house before I even wake up, and I'd wake up like, holy shit, this didn't look like this last night. And then she's like, get up, get out of my house, dude. Like,
you gotta go. You gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
You gotta go home, but you gotta get up.
That's like another Chris Rock. What does he say? Aquarius, you're gonna die. That's what I was trying to put on. Anyway. So, man, and big shout out to like people, you know what I mean, that make it work, man. But I agree with what you guys said. And I think emotional aspect, I've been in, you've been in a relationship, man, and to come back and you had a fucked up day, whatever, having something to talk to about it.
You don't want to come home and have a fucked up day.
Right, you don't want to get home and
you don't want that day to continue.
But then you get home and you have someone to talk to about it, someone that understands, and someone that's really trying to support you and build you up.
Exactly.
You guys are absolutely right in that. And then maybe that was something, I've been out of the game a little bit, you know what I mean? But thinking back, and I'm like, no, absolutely, that would be the kind of shit that impacts you, that makes it different.
Support system.
Beautiful, guys. Very well said. Very well put. You guys are distinguished gentlemen. Men and means, if you would. Right? And so, moving on. I don't know. You guys good with that?
Oh, I'm good. Good. We're good.
All right. So, I'd like to get into the meat and potatoes, if you would, here. I got 2 gentlemen here. Both my good friends. Both people that I respect. Both of them have children. Neither of which are still with the co-parent of the child. I'd like to hear you guys and understand the challenges that have arisen with that, as well as the benefits or whatever, how you guys have compensated for that, what does it take to make that work? Especially, and this part I'll pose to James, especially once you get in a relationship. And are there any issues there? How does that work? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of potential for it. I don't imagine that is the case. However, I'd like to hear you guys talk about it. This is a world that I don't live in and I don't know. So, John, why don't you kick it off?
Well, let me kick it off then. honestly, for me in my situation, the whole not being with the mother of my son, sad to say, but it has been a blessing. And many good reasons. First is that our relationship with my son's mother is a million times better apart than it was together. We were toxic, and our
Toxic is you gotta be really careful saying that word on here.
No. I'm gonna say it was toxic.
It was toxic.
It was toxic. I mean, it was to the point where it was just like, all right, we can't do this because we do not want to put our son in the middle of us.
Yeah.
One of the cutest little boys I've ever seen. That sounds so. God
my
damn
God.
it! God damn it!
Hey.
He's a cutie pie.
It's coming.
He's
It's coming.
a cutie pie.
It's coming for you.
Yeah,
That's my little man. Yeah. Shout out Uriah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, hands down. I mean, apart, mine and her relationship has it's flourished more apart than it has together.
Right.
And me and her co-parenting, and our communication is just it's crazy because you would think that it would get worse apart, but our communication apart has just been, I mean, second to none. The simple fact that I can call her, it'd be like 11 o'clock at night, text her and be like, hey, I'm having a moment. I miss my son. Can I talk to him? Oh yeah, no problem at all. And just to let everybody know, she is currently 9 months pregnant. She's about to have a daughter.
I did not know that.
She's 9 months pregnant. She's popping. She's popping any second now.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, she's popping any second now. Yeah, congratulations, Devin.
Congratulations.
I just know her as baby moms.
Yeah. And the simple fact that, like, I mean, I can talk to her about that. I mean, it's just crazy, like how our relationship has grown more apart than it was together, and I respect her now because it's just like the fact that we were able to, apart from each other, we were able to come together even more. You know what I mean? And
Sounds like you guys were coming together before.
you son
of a bitch.
Why?
You piece of shit.
you.
Well,
This table was in here.
I hope your moms ain't listening. To
Yeah,
this.
she's listening.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
she
sorry,
is.
moms.
Yeah.
But seriously though, the like, I mean, all in all, it was just for our son to have a better understanding of. I know. Like when we get together, me and his mom, when we get together, he thinks, oh, my mom and dad are back together. And obviously, I mean, he's 4 years old. He's gonna be 5 soon. To him, he's thinking, oh, my mom and dad are together. I'm gonna have my mom and daddy together again. But he knows when it comes to that time for his mom to leave or for me to leave. Oh, okay. I'm here. This is what it is. I mean, at this point, he knows what it is because me and his mom have not been together since he was born. And I mean, it's been tough because obviously he's with his mom full time. And back in February, they took off and moved to San Jose. So my son is 800 miles away from me, right?
And a Sharks fan.
And a Sharks fan.
No, he's not a Sharks fan.
He's like, no.
No.
Giants?
No.
Can't be.
Dodgers?
He's gonna be a
Can't be.
Giants
Dodgers,
fan.
Kings. Okay, get it right, my boy. Get it right. No, I mean it's hard, man. It's been really hard for me. I can't even tell you how many nights like I just been laying in bed and just start crying because I miss my son. I mean it's crazy. But as far as like getting back to the subject, as far as like the relationship with me and her and dealing with it, honestly, to me it's been a blessing. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better woman than her to co-parent with and to be so understanding when it comes to certain things, and I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but and then as far as her like seeing me with somebody else, that's when it kind of hit the fan a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a couple of years before she found out that I was actually seeing somebody, and the first time she did, it was not pretty. yeah, it was not pretty.
I mean, yeah, that's a tough thing to deal with.
It is, and But see, to me, the thing
Wait,
was like,
but hold on, but were y'all hooking up still?
no,
Totally done.
totally done.
Okay.
Totally done. I mean, this was years, months.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
A couple days.
Okay, yeah.
He's like weeks, days.
Yeah, hours. No, just kidding. No, but no, like I mean, things were way past, and yeah, when she found out that I was seeing someone, it kind of really hit the fan. But to me, it was just like
Well, it's natural progression.
natural. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's I was waiting for that to happen, and it was a little more than I expected it to be. But yeah, I mean, I guess that was natural reaction to whatever it is, you know.
Yeah, and for me, I think it all happens in phases. Like I've been separated from my ex for 5 years now, going on 6. It all happens in phases. So like there's a period of time where you're not together. Like I'm not talking about you're hooking up, but you're not together, and there's just obviously there's a lot of history there, right? So like that's why you get why she gets upset about that kind of stuff, and
after years,
yeah, and you know,
months.
For me, the thing that tore me up is not being around my daughter every night. Like, even if I got home and she was asleep, I like being under the same roof.
Exactly.
She's there,
you know, and that's a huge part. And so I initially started with like the weekend, right? And that shit killed me. I eventually worked my way up to 50-50, and that's what we do now. But it's also me and her had the same parenting style. So even though we weren't as toxic, we were like that quiet killer, like that quiet, like dysfunction, you know? And I remember telling her like, we are your parents. Like, and I don't like saying that because I don't like taking the fucking stab at her parents, but I think that sometimes a lot of times you hear about these old relationships and these old couples and like, oh, they stuck it out. Yeah, but the one thing you taught your kids was to just stick it out. Like there is not much benefit there other than them learning how to stick it out.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the lesson that I want to pass down when I'm dead.
Right.
Like just stick it out. So like sometimes you got to split when it's toxic. You got to split when it's quiet and it's just dysfunctional. You got to split, and it's okay. I didn't have a traditional upbringing with my father and my mom, and I was okay. So I knew, okay, we're going to be okay. So we split, and it was tough for me not to be around my daughter. And then, you know, time went on and we worked to 50-50, and now that's what it is. But now it's like, okay, my daughter's 7. Now she throws her own dynamic in. And the good thing about it is my girl now, it's funny because my girl now pushed me to like, oh, I want to meet her mom. And I was like, fuck. I always felt like,
wow.
Like
Okay.
And it's not because like I thought like my ex was going to trip, but for me, I didn't know how to process it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It was me. It was me holding it up. And my girl was like, no, I want to meet her. And I was like, okay, well, I'll set it up. Finally, I set it up. They exchanged numbers like girls do,
Yeah,
right? So they exchange numbers. They're texting on their own, like they're doing their own thing. You know what I mean? Like they're doing their own thing, and it's like, what was I worried about? You know?
Well, see, but there's a difference between men and women, right? Women are so nurturing and so loving, man. And we are so, I feel like as men, man, a lot of times we're a lot more aggressive and a lot more confrontational and kind of see a problem coming, even if it's not there.
James lost it again.
James dropped that ash again.
James dropped that ash again.
He dropped that ash.
I keep dropping on myself too.
Yeah, James dropping that ash all over himself. Anyway, but no, I do think, man, you know, man,
I'm not ashing like Ken, like a cigarette.
Yeah, Ken's over here.
Yeah, whatever.
He's over here ashing that motherfucker.
I've called it a day, you know. But no, I do think, man, like, and hearing you guys, and again, I'm fucking looking through the window, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I do think, man, women have this ability to just be so great in so many things that we are not naturally inclined to be great in. You know what I mean? I think I look at you both, and I've seen you both with your kids, and I know you both are very loving and nurturing fathers, right? However, though, man, I just think women have such a different approach right off the top. You know, like they just are, I think they're more inclined to being, you know, just at least in my world and what I've seen.
A nurture.
Well, to speak on the flip side of the coin, you could have two women not like each other just with the simple fact that there's history.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So like for me, like I'll just say for the man aspect of it all, people ask me all the time, like, are you not? Because I have friends now that are divorced and you know their kids are gonna have stepfathers and all this. They're like, are you not worried about like her stepfather? And I'm like, no, my job is to be a good dad. And if I'm confident in myself,
Right.
I'm not worried. Like, who's gonna be a better dad than me?
Well, you handle your
First
shit.
of all, so like for the women aspect, I don't think like I understand women want to be nurturing, but here's the thing with Crystal, her and Emma are like they don't need me. Like when we're all here, us three, they don't need me here. Like they're like, no, go do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. When she's with her mom, she doesn't need us. She's doing her own thing.
Right.
But the thing is, like for a 7-year-old to be that bridge, and now my 7-year-old wants she wants all of us to be a big family. Now it has to work. So now everybody involved has to go, oh, that's what you want? Let's come together. Let's be a big group now, because that's the support system behind your kid.
Right.
And it's not natural. I don't know. I don't want to say it's natural for women because I can't speak for women, but I don't know how natural it is for the individual woman who can walk into that and just handle that and go, wow. Because when Crystal first met my ex, she was like, she's awesome. And I was like, that's all I want to hear.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the answer I want to
great
hear.
man.
I want
That's
you guys
great.
to be
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
Well,
for M.
it took. I imagine too. You had a decent relationship already,
Yeah.
right? So okay. So I think to your point, and you're right. Again, I'm looking through the fucking window here, but to that point again, I think that says everything. It's like you both have just said, like we both have good relationships there. And yes, John, your baby mom was a little like, hey, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is understood.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Yeah, very understandable.
Totally understandable.
Right? And no judgment there. I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd be a little fucking iffy too. However, man, I'm gonna say this, man. I think my sister as a kid with a dude, and you know, when they're not together, and now she's with somebody else. And I look at this shit, man. Sometimes, man, and I won't speak on their shit. I honestly, I'm gonna just back off of that because I don't think I should get into their world, man. That's their world. I don't want to put it out there like that. But I just be like, hey, this dude be, some shit, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm gonna say, you know. But I commend you both, you know what I mean? I think too, I always imagine if I was in that boat and I did have a kid and that was a situation, from what I've seen from both of you, it seems like you both understand the bigger picture is the kid. That's
Right.
what you're living for, and that's what you're trying to accomplish, is to the overall benefit of the child. And that says everything to me, you know what I mean?
Right. And I want to highlight real quick the I know, like we said earlier, women want to be, oh, you're a strong woman, you're a great mother, you're nurturing and all that. I want to, again, I feel like I do this frequently, but I want to give a lot of praise to men who can sit there and say that when they miss their kid, they're staring at the ceiling crying.
Hey, dude.
Like I want people to understand that. First of all, I know I don't have to say this, but men have feelings too.
No doubt.
So like
No doubt.
I can relate to you in the way that it's men aren't heartless. Men aren't just fathers. If women want to be classified as being strong and being everything, and they want to compare themselves to men, we also feel shit. Like, so when your kid leaves, I'll tell you right now, the second I can hang out with my daughter for days, and the second she leaves and there's no noise in the background of my house, that shit pierces my fucking heart like a motherfucker. And that shit, like, that's the loneliest moment. The second they leave and this shit is just like
Monotone, nothing.
like that shit that hurts me, even though I just spent time with her. So I want to commend you for what you said earlier with when you're fucking missing your son, you're staring there, you're fucking crying. We feel.
Yeah, man.
Well, men
Yeah.
feel too. Like we're not fucking above it.
No.
You know, so explain that process, like what you go through mentally when you have to deal with that.
Well, before you do, I'm gonna say, man, just not too long ago, my man's here drove all the way up to fucking San Jose, blew me and the squad off. Which I mean, we gave him shit like, oh
yeah.
wow, oh your son's.
Hey, what was our plans? What was our plans that weekend?
We're gonna watch baseball.
The Dodgers Angels series.
Yeah.
Dodgers Angels series, right?
Which, I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah,
but
yeah, me
you know,
too.
whatever.
It wouldn't have been worth it.
Wasn't worth it.
Time with Uriah was way better than that series. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, go ahead, man.
But no, man. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I really haven't had. I mean, I do have the support there, you know, for me. But I'm the type of person personally that I don't like to put my feelings and what I'm going through on other people. I like to handle it by myself. I know at times it's probably the wrong way to go about it, you know. But that's just me. I rather, you know, go through my day saying, oh, everything's okay. And at night when I'm in my room by myself, I'm there laying down, and to me, it's just like, all right, this is my me time. Let me just lay here and just let it out. You know, I'll sit there and I'll cry, and I'll go through my phone. I'll flip through my phone, pictures, looking at my son, just going through videos, pictures, times we spent together, and it's not so much of like a sad cry. It's more of just like dude, like this is me, like this is my son. He's part of me. This is like
it's overwhelming.
It's like it's crazy because it's like I feel it's like you feel sad, but you're crying because you're happy.
Bro, I'll be depressed and I look at my girl and I'll be like, you know what it is? I'll tell her straight out because I try to communicate as much as I can. I'll be like, I miss M.
Yeah.
I was like, I miss my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, well, you get her tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, but today I fucking miss her. Like,
Yeah.
tomorrow's tomorrow, but I miss her now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, like if you realize like I'm fucking low right now, I'm just not right. I don't feel right. So like you're saying, like you deal with these things and it's crazy because it hits you. But it's not like a sad thing because you're doing your thing, and it's a joyful thing. But it's also like overwhelming to like you don't know how to process it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you just cry. You're like, oh my god. Yeah. I don't know. I miss my son, but I'm happy. I love him, but I'm gonna cry, and it's just like letting all your emotions out in that. You know what I mean?
I'm very impressed with you both. Like, I want to just make that clear to you guys both. Like, I'm very impressed with the fact that, I mean, fuck, dude. Like, you know, in that regard, I think men get a bad rap and like, oh, these fucking pieces of shit. Nah, man. You guys are awesome. You guys, like, the way, just hearing that, you know, like, I don't know, man. Again, I don't think I have any ground to stand on saying anything here because who the fuck am I to say anything, right? But just even hearing it, man, it's just very much like, wow, dude. Like, I hope one day, like, I mean, fuck, I hope I'm not saying the same shit, but you know, I mean, that sounds fucked up to say, but you know, you guys know where I'm coming from, right? But just know I'm impressed with you both, you know, and the way that you manage it and how you handle it, and then it seems like you both are willing to take whatever it takes on to be there and to be that. And James, the statement you made about like, oh, you worried about having a stepfather? Not fucking at all. Like, I am her fucking father. I am not worried about it.
Right?
Why? Because I am here and I do what I need to do. I am there. And that's where I think the difference from hearing what you guys just said and then seeing the things I've seen in my world. The difference is the people that are worried about it are the people that aren't fucking there. And so fuck you anyway, you piece of shit. And you know who the fuck I'm talking to. Fuck you anyway, you piece of shit, okay? And, you know, but they're going to be them. And let them be them. Let them be the failed fucking losers that they are. While I look at you two and I sit here and I say, man, nothing has stopped you. You driving all the way to fucking San Jose. I don't give a fuck. If I got to get there, I'm going to get there.
Yeah, man.
You, hey, whatever I can do. I miss her today. I know tomorrow's tomorrow, but I miss her today. You know what I mean? And then having a great girl to sit there and support that and being able to say that, and you know what I mean? And beautiful.
Yeah, and also what makes it easier, and you said it earlier too, it's knowing like your partner is a better partner now, and you can trust them to be a good mom.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes you feel better. Like, it makes you like, okay, she's not with me, but she's loved.
She's loved. She's
you know, and
loved.
your son's loved.
Right.
Like, and
It's a
it comes down to
partnership.
that. Exactly.
It is.
You know?
No.
It is a lifelong partnership, right? Like, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Which terrifies me. To be honest with you, you know what I mean. Like, but I mean, it terrifies me because it's the way. So sit on the other side of the table. It's everything I have to think about before I'm like, especially getting a little older. You know what I mean? You really think about that, and you really constantly wonder, hey man, before I take that step, do you have the qualities that I'm looking for? Do you really possess the things that I think would make a good parent, or someone that I want to parent with? You know what I mean? Are we compatible in that regard? And so I want to ask you, John, the question I want to ask, and since John, you're sitting here, I'll ask you the question. What words would you give to somebody else newly in this kind of a situation, newly trying to learn how to handle it, how to manage it, new to all of that? And especially, I imagine if you can think back to when initially you guys were like, hey, we're having a baby, we're not going to be together. The fears you had, and what kind of words would you give to somebody out there to kind of get them through it and see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, that question is making me feel some kind of way, just to let you know.
Well, my bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's being understanding. First, like, you got to be understanding. You got to be understanding. You got to think logical, not emotional.
Yeah, so usually the better way to do it.
You got to think logical, not emotional. And you got to put your child and your child's feelings before yours.
Right.
You do. And to me, honestly, I think that's the hardest part, because right off the bat, you everybody's first reaction is, oh, that makes me mad. That
I'm mad. I'm upset. How do I feel?
Yeah, how do I feel? I'm mad. Screw you. What, you know what I mean? But
screw you.
Hey, we got scolded. We got scolded today. We got scolded today. No, but shout out to Benjamin.
Yeah, jerk. We just care about you.
Yeah, we just care about you. Sorry for caring so much. But no, it's putting your child's feelings and emotions before yours, and being understanding and thinking about them before yourself.
So, James, I'd like to pose the same question to you. The question I asked Mr. Jonathan here was, what would your words of advice be? What would your, kind of guidance be towards somebody new to that same situation, having a kid, had a kid, whatever, been in this boat, mom and dad ain't going to work out, here's where we're going to go. What kind of shit would you say are good guiding principles, I think, to kind of, hey, it's not the end of the world, and you can do this and be successful at it? What would be, what advice would you give them?
Well, for me, I'm very goal oriented in some aspects. Like,
no, you're very goal oriented.
When I first split, I just want to point out the fact that John's fucking cigar went out.
Cigars went out.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but
mine's out again too, for the record.
Well, yeah, pass that lighter back to Ken. I will say that, like, my parents were on and off, so like, I think at the end of the day, your child needs love. Your child needs love, and what I will say to any parent that's going through it is, like, your number one job is to love them. So, like, when I say I'm goal oriented, my very first goal, I remember my very first goal for my daughter, I wanted to be the number one dad. And that sounds cliche as fuck, because you see it on coffee mugs for Father's Day. You see it on everything. But my goal was to be number one dad for her. Like, literally, like, that was just my goal. I don't give a fuck what I got to do. I got to have the time. I got to put the time in.
You're going to do that.
I have to be number one dad. So, like, whether you're a man or a woman and you're going through this process, number one, like John said, it's not about how you feel about a situation. It's about what's best for the moment, what's best to give that out there. And I'll just say this. You don't really know the impact that you have on your kids until you're hit with it. And a good example of that was this week when my daughter, she was on her bike, she fell or something. And she looked at me and she said, I know, that's part of life.
Oh,
And I was
man. Holy
what?
shit.
She's like, no, you always tell me that's part of life. And I was like, I do say that all the time.
Yeah.
Because it is. Like every time she falls and hurts herself, get up. It's part of life. Hey, every time she's dealing with anxiety, hey, come on. That's part of life. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are you feeling? It's part of life. And for her to throw that back at me, I was like, damn, that's my job. So for the people who are splitting and having to be the co-parents and everything, it's not about how you feel. It's about what your kids are absorbing. It's about what you can do for them to make them stronger. And when my daughter told me it's part of life, I envisioned myself as the old man already. I thought like she's going to tell her kids that's part of life. When shit gets tough, that's part of life. Get through it. Let's get through it. And it made me so proud. But for the parents that are going through that, be the number one parent. Be the best parent you can. Not for any praise, you know, and I don't want to shout out any parents individually, but be that for you. Like you want to walk away from the situation going, look it, you had so many years with your child and then they were an adult and they really are living their own fucking life. But you had a small portion of time with this person. Be the number one parent you can be. And that's the advice I would give to parents. Fuck everything else. Like you might not like the situation. Go deal with that by yourself. Talk to your partner, talk to your friends, talk to your parents, talk to whoever you can in your system. But for your kid, show them how to work through things. Show them that life is okay. Yeah. Show them that it's part of life. Yeah. And it was beautiful. I fucking enjoyed that so much when she told me, I know, it's part of life. I was like, hey, you're right.
You taught her something.
I taught her something.
That's something that's something that you molded into her as a parent, and that's the simple fact. And as mother and father, we are a child's biggest influence.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right. Yep. They look up to us. Everything is mommy, daddy, mom, dad, right?
Papa.
No, but seriously, but seriously though, I mean, it honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to understand that I am a big influence in my son's life. It really did, and once I learned that, dude, that's when it just the switch went off in my head and was just like, I gotta be that man for my son. You know what I mean? I gotta be the one to teach him this, to teach him that, to make him see this, make him see that, and once you have that, and it's such a great feeling, man, to know you have that. I don't want to say power,
the influence.
The influence. You have the influence over a person, and you're molding that person to be who they're gonna be. It's amazing, man. It's crazy.
And for men and women, I know I deal with bouts of ups and downs like everybody else, right? Like there are times where I'm up, there's times where I'm down, there's times where I'm frustrated, there's times where I'm overwhelmed. Mental health is one of those things where, like, as a parent, it's tough because people always talk about mental health, and for some reason there's always this thought like, oh, it's an individual. But sometimes that individual has a responsibility and they have to perform as a parent. They have to perform as a partner. Have you ever dealt with some of your own mental health issues that you know made it tougher to just be a parent, just to be a partner?
Yeah, man, I have. I really have. I've dealt with some serious mental health issues in my time, and honestly, a lot of them. Obviously, to me, the way I see it and the way it's made me feel is it's stemmed from childhood. Obviously, just like you, my mother and father. Now, as an adult, I learned that up to the point where they were together was just for my sake.
Yeah.
Right. And going through that toxicity of the relationship that I saw with my parents kind of was that stigma me to be like, that's exactly the person I don't want to be. Yeah. Like, as your father should be your role model and who you should be. My father taught me that's who I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Well, I think in life, man, I think as parents, and I'm only looking at it from a child, right? I think there was certain things that I would see from my father that I was like, hey, man, I absolutely love that, and I respect the fuck out of that, and I want to be like that. And there are certain other elements that I was kind of like, I don't want to do that. You know, not to say anything crazy, but just some shit that I just kind of would be like, okay, I'm going to be a little more cool about some shit sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah. And you know, my parents were on and off too, but like, it's funny because when my mom and dad would fight, she'd say, take your boys. And then we would all be getting kicked out. But like, I can imagine doing that to my daughter now. You know what I mean? Like, so like you do learn certain things and it's like, okay, cool. But for me, I've always took that like, and maybe that's where my whole mantra came from. That's just part of life. It's like, okay, now we're kicked out. Like, I wasn't planning on leaving today, but my mom kicked you out. Now we're walking to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Like, we're chilling. Like, what's gonna happen today now? What is our day gonna be? And like, I can't imagine what went through my dad's head. Like, damn, what are we gonna do? Like, how am I gonna keep you guys entertained? But it's like there are just things that you learn along the lines. Like, yeah. And again, I don't want this to be a platform where I'm like, just like, oh, fucking man empowerment. But I also want to recognize men who can do that, that don't have a father figure, like in our aspect, right? They don't have a father figure that,
a positive one.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. My dad died when I was 11. So he was my hero. So like, it's not so much that it's more that I know that there was dysfunction there. It wasn't like he ever did anything that I thought like he was a piece of shit for. There was just dysfunction there. I didn't know what a good relationship looked like. I knew what love looked like. I knew what support looked like, but I didn't know like what a good husband was like. I didn't know that shit. So like going through life, I didn't know any of that shit. But I do know that when some men prevail, like I always want to like push that up and say, look, that's a beautiful thing, because sometimes that's self-taught. Sometimes that's learned. And I did have my grandpa to show me a lot of that, but to take the steps myself and become that's a whole different thing. Yeah. So like you learn those things through the lines, and like for your dad to take on what he did, like that is also a huge display of what a man should be.
What showed me, sometimes life fucking happens, right? I think James hit it on the nail on the fucking head. The constant theme here seems to be sometimes life happens, but how do you handle it? And I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but I want to jump into my truth. Are y'all down for that?
Yeah.
Hey, before we get into that,
go ahead.
Can you turn that hat backwards for me real quick?
I did earlier, but I absolutely will once.
Hit him with the
once
slogan.
more.
Hit him with,
you know what I mean?
Hit him with that, please.
So you guys can see. And my dad was a big fan of Malcolm X himself, man. And so, you know, again, these are the things that you grow up and you get. But my truth is just, especially as in the other day, it's Kobe's birthday, man. It's just, everyone's a Laker fan here. Embody what he actually talked about. It's just, be better. Look at the Kanye commercial with Kobe and Kanye. Like, what? You need to be better. You know what I mean? Every day, take every day and perform to the greatest extent that you fucking can. And if you don't, consider it a failure and then get better tomorrow. You know what I mean? And keep fucking going. I'm looking at two guys here who sit here, been struck with some adversity. They didn't quit. Oh, life's tough. Oh my God, poor me. Nah, man, these guys rose to the fucking occasion. My father did the same shit. Oh, look, my mother fucking died. She had cancer. He didn't, oh, fuck, what am I gonna do? Nah, man, he stood the fuck up and rose to the fucking occasion. And you know what? I feel lucky to be around people like you guys. I feel lucky to have been raised by a father like mine. I feel lucky to have these kind of things. And that's my truth, man. It's just, if you're sitting there, you're dealing with some shit, get the fuck up and do something about it. And if you don't blame anyone but yourself, because you can. And I'll let it go from there.
You helping me? You got a truth? I'll go. I'll go. So first of all, just in light of the conversation we just had, I do want to first shout out the women out there that can be what their kids need them to be. What, like, strong mothers, strong women. If you want to be that strong woman, go ahead.
Be it.
Like, we want you to. I really sincerely support women being bold and being strong and taking a stand and doing everything that you think it requires to do that, whatever it is. And you don't need validation from anybody, and especially not me. But I would just say I do respect every step you want to take. I respect every step. But I will get into my truth, and it's a little different. But my truth is this. It's totally different from what we're talking about. But I think that so many people are willing to settle. So my truth is that, like, so many people are willing to settle, and you have a certain number of years on this planet where you can be in your zone, in your prime, in your life, where you have an opportunity. And people are willing to settle for certain things. And I've settled. I've been the person who has settled and said, fine, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to be. Okay, this is what the cards that are dealt to me. But at the end of the day, that's settling. And I want to encourage everybody not to settle for shit. If you want something, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that you can attain that. You have to look at a goal, and no matter what obstacles are in front of you, go ahead and strive for it. Because at the end of the day, I'll just say this: there's a lot of people who are willing to settle, and for you to stand apart, I guarantee you will succeed. Because there's so many people who don't want more than what they got. So my truth is, don't settle for shit. Don't settle for relationships that don't work. Don't settle for jobs that don't pay. Don't settle for a life that you don't want. Don't live in a place that you don't want to live. Don't do things that you don't want. Because at the end of the day, when you're an old fucking person,
you're gonna regret.
You're gonna regret. You're gonna regret. It's hands down.
Yeah.
You're going to look back and regret that.
Yeah.
So take the opportunities, and even if those opportunities set you back, just understand they will push you forward in the next step. So don't settle for shit. Push through. And like I said, I can't sit here and say I'm not a hypocrite, but I will say that I am going to take steps forward in my life that you can't say you can never say I settle for shit. But I'm not there yet. But my mentality is that don't settle for shit.
All right.
I'm gonna kick it to John now.
And get better. Kobe.
So my truth's gonna be, honestly, don't be a product of your environment. Don't be a product of your environment. Okay. And this goes back to my my saying of me not being who my dad was, and for him thinking he was teaching me of what a man was supposed to be, and what a man is, what a man does. Don't if you have the power to see right from wrong and realize wrong is wrong, be right. You know what I mean? Don't
every day,
man.
Every fucking day. That's a battle.
Fucking it is, and man, it's hard. It's hard, and it took me a while to see that, and to deviate from that plan that I thought was planned for me. But man, I did it. And I just want to tell everybody that just don't be a product of what you're given and what you're around. Be something more.
Be different.
Something more. Be different.
Be different.
Be better.
Be better.
Be better.
That's it.
Be better.
Be better.
Hey,
Be better.
Be better.
Like I said, Kobe mentality, man.
Be better.
Mamba mentality. Be fucking better. Be the greatest shit
better,
you can be.
Be better.
And so with that, man, I'm gonna say too. You know what? You guys give us some comments, man. Let us know how you guys land with that. You think we're right? You think we're wrong? You learned something from this? Did you not learn something? Do you think we're full of shit? Maybe you think we're dope. Don't know. Don't give a fuck. Just write it down. You know what I'm saying? As always, subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the fucking podcast, wherever that may be, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever the fuck you on. Do what you gotta do. Let us know what's up. John's mom, I'm expecting a follow.
I hear Mario already on it.
All right, they already own it,
yeah,
dude.
own
You
it.
goddamn right.
Yeah.
Anyway, man.
Thank you, John, for stopping by. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
hey,
man.
John, man.
Some
It's
real
been a blast.
shit.
It's been a blast, man. I'm
Great
glad
conversation.
You came.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was something I thought I wanted you to, and you guys, well done. Shout out to both of you. And with that said, man, as always, check us out, and okay, bye.
Bye.